It's really no surprise that gold is up today, but where the miracle lies in what it's doing compared to other asset classes. We're going to get into that in this video, as this could be a game changer as to where gold goes from here. Let's talk about it as we explore. That's right, gold is up sharply today. It's getting much closer to its all-time high. Moments before the markets close, gold is sitting at $3,433.44. That's up 1.38%, up $46.83. It got up to a high of $3,445.21 earlier in the trading session. Silver is down slightly, but not by much, still holding on to $36, which is actually a very good thing, but it's down 0.14%. That actually doesn't surprise me either, because silver is kind of suffering from the other safe havens that gold is not affected by. I'm going to get into that in a moment. Platinum is also down sharply, down over 5%, down $69. And palladium is down $31. Rhodium is actually up a bit. So what's going on here? What is this miracle that gold is witnessing? Well, after surging to its highest level since April's all-time highs, the gold market is experiencing some expected profit-taking to a degree, but gold's overnight rally, triggered by Israel's preemptive attack on Iran, which involved a barrage of airstrikes that eliminated top military officers and targeted nuclear and missile sites, demonstrates that gold remains a critical safe haven asset. And that's right. So there was some profit taking, but gold has survived that and has moved up. I think that's one of the reasons why it's not moved up more so than it has. But whenever there's dips in the markets, and even if you're just dollar cost averaging, check out channel sponsor Summit Metals. They have excellent customer service and a growing selection, and are adding more features and services to their website at summitmetals.com. Elevate your wealth with Summit Metals. Now, safe haven asset. We know that about gold. Gold's been a safe haven asset, and it's been talked about something as such for so long that it's kind of just second nature. But according to one renowned economist, it may be the last safe haven asset, as the U.S. dollar and U.S. treasuries have not seen the same inflows as gold amid the renewed conflict in the Middle East. Now remember, during times of economic insecurity, during times of shocks to the market, people run to the safety of this, cash. Well, that's not happening as much these days, because the dollar is losing value. But it's not just here in America, it's other nations around the world. They're running to gold. There is this de-dollarization that's continuing to happen. And so this is something that is part of what is propping up gold's price, because central banks are holding it. Now, in a Friday social media post, Mohammed El-Iran, former CEO of PIMCO and current president of Queen's College, Cambridge, warned investors not to rely on the U.S. dollar and treasuries as safe havens. Their yields barely budged after the Israel attack on Iran. Instead, watch gold and silver. Yes, indeed. So that's what he's saying, and that's exactly what's happening. And although gold prices have retreated from their overnight highs, the market is still holding solid gains above their initial resistance. And so we're seeing that, and the U.S. Treasury yield bonds are near session highs at 4.42%, and the U.S. dollar index continues to struggle near multi-year lows at 98.09 points. So that is what we're looking at. In fact, as I record this video, I'm going to look at the dollar index right now. As by the way, crude oil is up, and it's up to $73.57 right now. And if Iran doesn't block the Straits of Hormuz, well, we may have dodged a bullet there, but that's going to be another factor that could come into play. But the dollar index is recovering slightly. It's up 0.5% to 98.18 right now. Now, the Financial Times, El Arian, said that the new conflict in the Middle East is bad news at a bad time. He noted that rising energy prices will stoke inflationary pressures, which could in turn hinder global growth. Of course, in reality, inflation is a narrowly and is a very specific thing to money printing, as to the increase in the money supply. But we use inflation for everything, but it's really just rising prices. If oil prices go up, everything else will rise too, but that's not inflation, folks. And central banks will now need to intensify their vigilance regarding inflationary pressures that have yet to be confidently contained. This makes it less likely that earlier and larger interest rate cuts could be triggered in response to any slowdown. Meanwhile, any fiscal response could come at a time with still high interest rates and great investor sensitivity to deficits and debt. But again, remember that it's not just that. So gold is showing itself to be that safe haven. But here's the kicker, folks. If you thought Bitcoin was one of those safe havens, well, you would be guessing wrong. Bitcoin has fallen dramatically over the course of this attack, and it is down now pretty substantially. It's down now to 1.46%, but it was down more than that earlier. In fact, all cryptos are down. And so that leaves gold kind of as the ultimate safe haven. And so this is what we're looking at here. And this is remarkable, and it just goes to show you, it gives you some validity that you're doing the right thing by holding on to gold. Gold being that ultimate safe haven, holding up to its highs, getting near again to its all-time high. And the global economy faces the risk of negative indirect effects. With time, the uncertainty arising from this new upheaval in the Middle East may well be seen as adding to the ongoing erosion of U.S.-led global economic order, further energizing the forces of economic fragmentation, according to El Arian. But I can't imagine that his outlook is going to be anything other than than comes sort of that Eastern point of view. And I think that's what's looking at there, further energizing the forces of economic fragmentation. And that very well could be, but so far, some of the other actors have not condemned what Israel has done there in that region, but that's a whole nother discussion. But this piece here from Kitco certainly has his voice being here. Don't know why they chose him, but nonetheless, we do know that gold is indeed the big actor here. It is the top dog, as the ultimate safe haven, and which means safe haven is very different than an exploding asset class that just has been spiking up, that is based off of the energy that is used to produce it, and the fact that it's decentralized. And but other than that, gold is all of that and more. And so we'll see what happens in this case. But fascinating, I think, to see the winds shift and change in gold's favor. It's really almost kind of a miracle how it all worked out today, because with everything else happening now, de-dollarization and treasury bonds, and then like it's sort of the perfect storm, with Bitcoin being the cherry on top of it going down. And then here we go, we see a gold rising up. And again, it wasn't a massive move for gold today, but usually situations like this, you see gold react, but in this case, interacting even more. And so this is where we're at right now with precious metals, and it makes me glad that I've got it as part of my portfolio. And I'm telling you, even if you're the most ardent silver stacker, and with silver really poised to continue to climb, and I do think it will, I still believe that having some gold in your portfolio is a good, wise choice, because it does provide that safe haven status, that more stable store of value, stability being the key here. And right now, with what's going on in the world today, that is manifesting itself to be the case. And so, what an amazing thing. And I tell you, it's we're going to watch and see what happens, but I don't see much downside for gold, barring just a miracle in the other direction. But so far, gold's miracle is that it is providing itself to be the ultimate safe haven. And not a lot of people are talking about it. But let me know what your thoughts are about this scenario, about today's market move here with gold. And are you a buyer? Are you a seller of gold now that it's getting close again to reaching its all-time high? Or is this something that you think is just a flash in the pan and we're going to see the prices normalize very, very soon? I'd love to know your thoughts. I like to give you the latest news in the world of precious metals. It's what I do every single day. So with that, I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.